What's going on, everyone? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Antonia and I hope you enjoy today's video. Alright, so today's plan is to talk about a question that I feel is commonly asked by Christians, which is, did God ever forsake Jesus? Because if we go to Mark 15 verse 34, it says, "And at the 9th hour Jesus called out with a loud voice, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani." Which means, when translated, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Now, what does that mean? Did God abandon? Did he forsake his son? Or what is Jesus trying to tell us with this passage? So I remember when I first read this, I was like, okay, Jesus, what are you trying to tell us? Surely God wouldn't forsake you, because that wouldn't make any sense and wouldn't really align with kind of who God is, right? And so I was really confused for this with a long period of time, and I never had an answer for what it meant. But now I do, so I'm trying to share it with you guys, so please stay tuned for the entire video so you know what I mean and what this verse means. So let's go over to Psalm 22, okay? This is an important psalm, very important. Alright, so now that we're at Psalm 22, let's read the first verse together. My God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you far from saving me, far from my cries and anguish? Far from my cries and anguish. Now in Mark 15, it says that Jesus said, my God, why have you forsaken me? And now in Psalm 22, it's the exact same words, and that's how it starts off. However, that's not the mind-blowing part. What we're going to focus on are a few verses in Psalm 22, and then we're going to compare them to Mark 15. Now going to verse 18 in Psalm 22, it says, they divide my garments among themselves, and they cast lots for my clothing. Now, in Luke 23, verse 34, it says, but Jesus was saying, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Furthermore, they cast lots to distribute his garments. So it's pretty clear that Psalm 22 is talking about Jesus and is prophesying his crucifixion and everything. That's just one of the verses in there, and it points to Jesus, right? Now the next verse, which is right after 18, verse 19, it says, but you do not remain far away. You are my strength. Hurry to help me. And then later on in Psalm 22, it also says, this is verse 24, for he has not despised nor loathed the suffering of the oppressed one. He has not hidden his face from him. When he cried to him for help, he heard. So Psalm 22 starts off as a very dark and depressing psalm. Why would you abandon me? Why did you leave me? Why am I alone? All that kind of complaining stuff. But then later on, it changes into, you have never hidden your face from me. I was never alone. You're always there to help me. You hear me. And you're just always there, right? So it kind of changes the mood or the meaning of the psalm, kind of. But now, okay, so now that doesn't really answer the question, why would Jesus say that as his crucifixion? Why would he say, my God, why have you forsaken me, right before dying? Why is that important? Now, we know that during Jesus' crucifixion, there were a lot of Pharisees and a lot of, Jewish people who were very familiar with the Bible, right? Or not the Bible at that time, but they were familiar with the Psalms and just what was written in the Torah of that time. So, without a doubt, the Pharisees and all those high Jewish people, they knew about Psalm 22 and they knew how it started. So, when Jesus said that, it was kind of like him saying, you guys are killing the wrong person. Because, as we know now, Psalm 22 talks about Jesus, it points at him and everything, and it also says that he is a loved one from God. Now let's just go back to the psalm, because everything we say, we want to back up with the word of God. So, in verse 8, it says, he entrusted himself to God. Let him rescue him. Let him save him, for he is so dear to him. Him meaning God. So he, Jesus, is so dear to him, God. So when Jesus said that, he was basically calling out all those all the people who crucified him, right, which were the Jews and I guess the Romans because they physically crucified him, but they didn't really care. So I guess the Jewish people, they wanted to crucify him, right? So it was kind of him saying, "You're crucifying the wrong one. My God, why have you forsaken me?" Go back to that psalm, Psalm 22, read it, and then you'll see what you have actually done to me and to God. Because in that psalm, you're going to see so many, like, prophecies. You're going to see so many prophecies about me and how they came into fulfillment. And you're going to see that all along God never has forsaken me, and you basically killed the Son of God. So read that, Pharisees, and then you'll know. Now, when Jesus said this, he didn't really point it to everyone because not everyone knew the language he was speaking in. And it even says in the Bible that a lot of people thought he was talking about Elijah when he said, "Eli, Eli," and so on and so forth. So a lot of people thought he was talking about Elijah. So I think he really did just mean the, like, Jewish leaders and everything who kind of knew stuff about the Torah. They knew what he was saying, right, which was, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And they also knew that Psalm 22 starts with that verse and how it kind of changes into prophesying Jesus' crucifixion and saying who he is and that God has not forsaken him. So when I first realized this, I was mind blown. I heard this on Instagram, actually. I hear so many good things on Instagram. It's really a blessing. If you don't use the internet for, like, weird and waste of time kind of things, it can be a huge blessing. So just make sure to have your feed full of Jesus, and then you're all set, you're all good to go. So, did God forsake Jesus? No, he did not. He would never. He was there with him the entire time. And as you can see now, it is in Psalm 22, in Mark, and in Luke. It's everywhere in the Bible. You can find it everywhere. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this explanation. I know I'm not, like, a teacher and I don't explain things the best. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other content ideas for me or something, or anything you want to see, please comment them down below. I would love to read them. You can always DM me on Instagram for anything, just a hello or any questions, any comments. And yeah, please subscribe if you like this video. And if you want to support me, I guess, God bless you. Have a great day, and thank you so much for watching. I love you.